Hello friends, and welcome to yet another video on TutorialsPoint with Ms.Richa. Today we're going to discuss on a very important and interesting topic known as coaching skills. Well, once I was reading a book, and in that book there was a beautiful quotation which says, "Coaching takes people from good to great." Well, it is important to understand that you might already be good. However, if you want to go to the next level and really achieve good things for yourself, you definitely need a coach. A coach is needed for each and every person on this planet. Whether you're a sports person, a leader, a manager, or anybody for that matter, everybody needs a good coach to really take them to the best level of themselves. So in this particular module, we will talk much more in detail about what coaching is all about. Let's get started with the agenda. What we will discuss is what is coaching meaning, the 6-step coaching tool to coach daily, how do you stay on track even while you're coaching, when coaching works and when it doesn't work, urban myths of coaching as well as certain common pitfalls of coaching. Well, I'm very excited to teach you on this particular module, and let's get started right away. So friends, what do we exactly mean by the word coaching? Well, coaching is a little more than really facilitating somebody to learn something in order for them to have a better understanding of themselves. So, in simple terms, coaching is a skill in which a facilitator helps his or her student in the process of learning. This process aims at improving the performance of his mentees and improves their overall self-esteem. People need help in all areas of their life. It could be personal, financial, professional, career related, etc. Now you have separate coaches for all of these, which will help you to overcome the challenges that you are facing in that particular area or scope of life, in that particular field of your life. So it's important to understand coaching really works wonders if you let yourself be coached. So you need to be ready to receive feedback about yourself, because not all the feedback will always be a positive one. So now let's take a look at what are the 5 tools or steps in order to have a good coaching plan, a daily coaching plan. The first and the foremost is you need to analyze. By analyzing, what we really meaning to say is collect and interpret the performance data. Coach employees by identifying the performance gaps. Wherever you feel there is a gap in a person, what causes that gap and what you need to analyze it in a big detailed manner. Be a mentor and understand the root cause behind each performance issue. Please understand, friends, that sometimes you need to really go in depth of that particular issue which a person is having, because do not always take things at a face value. Go dive deeper into the root cause and understand why is the person struggling with that particular thing. And trust me, the more you go deeper, the more you understand the person better. So first step is analyze. The second step is to prepare. By prepare, which we mean clearly define the meeting's objectives. Coach the employee on corrective measures rather than just on positive feedback. It's important as a coach to understand that you need to give constructive feedback to your coachee or whom you're mentoring. Please make sure that the feedback should not be corrective or rather said in a very discouraging manner. You need to make sure that you're motivating your employees. Coach the behaviors rather than the matrix. Be respectful of the individual needs and the area of improvement. Sometimes people need help with very small areas, which as a coach you might feel it's something which is very basic. However, you need to respect their opinion and make sure that you're giving them something in order for them to really overcome that struggle that they're having in that area of their life. The next one is conduct. While this is the most important part of this step, because here you're actually sitting face to face with the person who needs to be coached, and hence it has to be a two-way communication rather than one. You need to make sure that you are discussing everything that the person needs to be coached on. So the agenda and the objective should be clear of the coaching platform. The coach must keep his mentee engaged and motivated during the entire communication. The challenge over here is that the coach should be speaking less, and you should encourage the coachee to actually go about and open their heart out of whatever challenges that they are facing and whatever obstacles that they want to overcome. and hence this is a very important part or step of coaching process. The next one is document. Well, whenever a coaching takes place, generally a coaching should not increase to more than 1 to 1.5 hours or maximum 2-hour window. While this is happening, it's important to document each and everything that you are talking about with your coachee. So everything needs to be well written, documented, etc. so that there is no misunderstanding between the coach and the coachee. Set specific goals for each employee. Make sure that you agree on the action plan and you gain a commitment of what you want them to do and how long should that thing be done for. Follow everyone's progress, very important, and make lists and tables based on the learner's experience. Now this is very important because they need to have an action plan. Whatever you say, they need to write it down and make sure that they have something that they need to work upon after the coaching gets over. The next most important step of coaching process is follow-up. Well, after you're done with your coaching session, you should not just forget about your coachee. You need to follow up at least once in a week or once in 10 days and check with them on their progress, whether they are facing any issues or any kind of obstacles or challenges. Over the call or even over Skype, you can discuss things with them. If not face to face, follow it up with a phone call. That's a very important part of your coaching process. Well, now we're going to talk about how do you stay on track while coaching. Coaching is not rocket science, but it is very important to understand at times you might get into an emotional zone while coaching to someone, and that is something that you have to be very careful about. Do not let your emotions get into the space that you are in there. Be consistent, be human as much as possible, be as genuine as you can. Understand the issues and the reasons why someone is having a gap in the performance. It could be like they have a particular gap which you need to understand by understanding the root cause of that particular problem. Make the coaching sessions very, very interactive. It should not be a one-way communication, so make it two-way and interactive. Prepare outlines and have a well-established plan of action, and never ever forget to follow up. Now these are the checklists that you need to have in front of you whenever you are going in for a coaching session. Why coaching doesn't always work? Well, there are certain reasons why they don't always work. Every particular individual needs to be facilitated differently, and also take the ownership when one of your ideas or workshops doesn't really work. So no two individuals are the same, are they? Hence, it's important to understand that whenever you're coaching, make sure that you take the ownership and also make sure you're having different methods, using different methods of coaching on different people. Understand every plan needs time to have. Avoid distractions. Make sure that you reward your mentees, keep the motivation up, and do not ever forget to follow up. Now, it is very important that you do not demotivate your coachee. Keep following up, keep pepping them up, and make sure that you are leaving them something to work upon themselves. Now friends, I'm going to share with you certain myths around coaching. Well, coaching and training are two different things. Well, they're not really. You have to be an expert to coach someone. I completely disagree with this because at times coaching comes very naturally to some people. So it's not that you have to be a complete expert to coach someone, but definitely having a certification definitely helps over there. The coach has goals. Well, not really or not always. He might have goals or might not have goals. You cannot suggest anything in coaching, but you can, as it's a two-way street of communication. So suggestions, advices, all of these are important in a coaching session. Coaching isn't effective enough. Well, again, that's a myth. Coaching is only business related. Again, nowadays coaching is there in every field of our life. It could be health, it could be relationships, it even could be something like career, etc. So not only business related, coaching can be in any different part of your life really. Feedback is the same as criticism. Again, something which is a myth. Feedback needs to be given in a constructive manner. That's about it. Now, let's take a look at certain common pitfalls of coaching. Do not procrastinate orientation. It's very important to have a chemistry meeting before you start coaching a person. That person should like you and you should like that person in order to have that kind of a bond, because in coaching it's very important to gel well with your coachee. When you make implied promises, you need to make sure that you overcome them or rather follow them through. Be big on change management and follow updated techniques to coach. Never ever lose your temper. You need to have a lot of tolerance and patience level. When you undermine the potential of your coach is not something that again is a common pitfall, but you should never undermine your coach. Always make sure that you look up to them. Keep your attitude in check, and lastly, never ever fail to follow up. Now, you might fall into any of these if you are not having a checklist ready. So make sure that you have these in front of you because they are common pitfalls in coaching. Well friends, to conclude this particular topic on coaching, coaching is something that's taken the world again by a storm, because many people are now getting into coaching as a profession in itself, because they want to help people out solve their problems, or rather help them solve their own problems, and really try to help genuinely be there for someone, also by offering professional advice and suggestions. Well friends, I do hope you have enjoyed listening to this particular module on coaching skills. Please keep watching, more videos coming your way. Till then, thank you for watching us.